good morning, boss. Okay, ngayon, Carla, syempre, mahalaga yung pag-uusapan natin para sa ating first interview. Kasi di ba, for the past months, pinag-uusapan natin na nangangamba tayo na possible na magkaroon ng power shortage in the next year. So, ang isa sa mga reasons or isa sa mga options pala na pwede daw gawin ay magkaroon ng emergency powers si Pangulong Aquino. At ito nga ay dapat aprubahan ng Kongreso. Kaya, para malaman natin ang iba't ibang detalye hinggil dito sa usaping ito, makakasama natin ang representante ng Oriental Mindoro, walang iba kundi si Congressman Reynaldo Umali. Magandang umaga po.
Hi, good morning, Jules. Good morning, Carla. Good morning to all of our televiewers.
Okay, sir. So, simulan po natin. Ano na po ba yung kalagayan ng power supply ng ating bansa?
Sa ngayon, ayos pa tayo hanggang sa summer. According to DOE, yung summer, when you talk of summer, it really goes beyond summer hanggang from March to July, which is no longer summer, but we are looking at those 5 months. After the 5 months after July, balik na uli tayo, regular na naman yung kuryente natin. So, what we are really looking at is basically the 5 months. And in those 5 months, this is the Luzon supply-demand outlook. In March, wala pa naman tayong red, kanya lang, mas mababa yung ating, yung meron tayong gross reserve, kanya lang, meron tayong nakikitang dispatchable reserve or contingency reserve na 647 na dapat pangalagaan natin kasi ang katumbas nito ay isang planta like Suwal, no, which is about 647 megawatts. Pag nagkaroon ng outage, kukulangin tayo.
Okay.
So, yun yung ating tinitingnan at dapat masolusyonan.
Okay, so, sir, kanina po sabi niyo po hanggang March po, summer, ang ating supply, no, at least. So, kailan po natin inaasahan itong shortage po? At ano po ba yung, kumbaga, ano po yung ginagawa natin for this?
Yeah, based on, again, the outlook of DOE, we have about 16 months from March until July, ano, na pwedeng magkaroon ng brownout. Pero ang sinasabi nga, ang precarious dito is yung week of the yung 14th week, which is April 14 or April 4 to 10, and week 15, which is 11 to 17, kasi dito yung red alerts. 2 linggo na red alerts and 14 weeks of yellow alert. Yung precarious dun sa red alert. And ang computation nila is 21 minus 21, ibig sabihin kulang tayo ng 21 megawatts and 31 megawatts in those 2 weeks, no?
Alright.
And if you add up the contingency reserve of 647, we may need a total of about more or less than 700 megawatts.
Alright, sir. So, para po mas maintindihan po no, ng mga kababayan natin, ano ba yung magiging epekto nitong red alert or the yellow alert sa bawat household? Ano po yung mangyayari dito?
Yung yellow alert, ibig sabihin lang nun ay medyo meron pa rin tayong reserve, pero pag may nasirang isang planta, which is equivalent to 647 megawatts, brownout tayo.
Okay.
And then, sorry, sa yellow, did I say yellow? Sa yellow, wala pa tayong brownout. Pag pag red alert, yung 21 at saka 31 megawatts na ito, talagang pag nag-conk out itong Suwal, ay siguradong brownout tayo. So, ganun kasimple lang yon para maintindihan ng taong bayan. Ano? And then, pero meron tayong mga measures, no? One of which is yung interruptible load program. What is the interruptible load program? It's a program of the DOE na kung saan yung mga kumpanya o kaya mga establishments like for example the malls o kaya yung mga private manufacturing institutions na meron silang embedded capacity, meron silang diesel gensets na pang standby nila, ay paandarin ito, tatawagin sila, pwede bang paandarin nyo yan, para yung masisave na, kunwari, merong, for example, PTV4, meron kayong, say, 5 megawatts dito. Sasabihin sa inyo ng Meralco under a protocol na pwede bang i-deload muna namin kayo para yung 5 megawatts na dati-rating kinukuha nyo sa grid ay itatapon namin sa ibang nangangailangan. And if you sum it all up, based on the 6 technical working group meetings that we have had, meron na tayong a total of 863 megawatts of participants to the ILP that will give us, 847 megawatts that will give us a derated capacity. Kasi yung planta nila, kung meron man, mga 70% lang magagamit natin doon. Kaya derated capacity of 593.2 megawatts. So, pag nagamit natin yun, assuming nagamit natin lahat yan, kinulang tayo ng 21 on 31 megawatts during those critical periods of week 14 and week 15, wala tayong brownout.
Okay. Carla, no, and sir, yung isa sa mga pinag-uusapan dito na possible option is for President Aquino to have emergency powers. So firstly, is it possible? And number 2, ano ba yung maitutulong nito para maibsan yung possible na red alert nga at mawawalan ng kuryente?
Yeah. Yung actually hindi naman emergency power to. Ewan ko kung bakit dumating tayo sa ganon. It's really Section 71 of EPIRA which calls for a joint resolution to authorize the President to contract additional capacities. No? So, it is not like yung emergency powers na meron talagang krisis na ganon. Ano? So, kasi under the EPIRA, hindi na pwedeng mangontrata ang gobyerno ngayon kasi pina-privatize natin and government ayaw nating to run in conflict with private sector which is being tapped to provide us all of the power generation requirements of the country. So ngayon dahil meron ng imminent shortage and when the President so declares that there is imminent shortage, we can give him that power so that he can contract capacities, no? So, yun yung joint resolution na hinihingi. Yan ay ibibigay na sana namin and we were prepared to give it at least a House of Representatives sana nitong Wednesday, no? But 2 Mondays ago, sabi ng DOE na hindi na namin kailangang i-pursue yung leasing or buying that capacity or buying a plant, no? Kanya, ang nangyari sa amin sa Kongreso, wala nang urgency to approve the joint resolution because it will take us about 2 weeks. 1 week in the Committee on Energy, on the committee level, and then the other week para doon sa plenary level. No? So, sabi ng DOE, kailangan namin yan dati 5 months, naging 4 months before kasi kailangan pa ng mobilization. But since that is no longer an option being pursued, there was no urgency to approve it in October. Instead, if we will go through the ILP and other measures, we can still do this and we can issue the joint resolution even as late as February. So, the tact is we will still grant the President that joint resolution, except that it will now limit the options to ILP, plans for interconnection, and plans for immediate rehabilitation, and then the conservation measures, no, and some other measures that we need to adopt just to ensure that there will be no brownout because that is not an option.
Okay. Ayan. So siguro, sir, para din po maintindihan din po ng ating mga televiewers, gano'n po ba ka-importante? Ano po ba yung pakinabang nitong joint resolution na ito?
Yun, yung joint resolution will allow, merong mga bagay na dapat nating tugunan. For example, yung ILP, voluntary lang kasi yung ILP eh. And government cannot be at the mercy of the private sector, the ILP being voluntary. So anong kailangan? We will give a deadline for them to participate voluntarily. After that deadline, ang difference is when you are counted and because you registered, pag ikaw ay tinawag at nagbigay ka ng power through your plants, you will be paid for the increment. Kasi mas mahal yung genset, 14 pesos per kilowatt yon versus yung nasa grid na about 5 pesos per kilowatt. Pag ikaw naman ay hindi nakasali, by December 1, I think that is the timeline. Hindi ka nakaregister to voluntarily participate, you may run the risk of being required to run your generator and not get paid. So, isa yun. So, in that sense, it makes mandatory the ILP. There are some other issues like concerns on Clean Air Act, concerns on Biofuels Act, concerns on the National Grid Code that will be addressed by the joint resolution.
Okay, so maganda sir na nabanggit nyo nga po yung hinggil sa environment factor mismo kasi of course while nalalaman nga natin na marami mga issues hinggil dito sa power supply, dumarating na rin sir yung mga issues naman or suggestions on alternative power supply like yung coal or sa solar and also would you think sir as a final question, is this an opportunity for our country to dwell on those opportunities naman on the solar and other electricity?
Not on this, not on the short term. Probably pwede pa rin yung solar because mabilis naman i-install yan. Kanya lang marami pa rin mga mekanismo na kailangan dyan. In the medium and probably longer term, this is where we will have to come up with a good energy mix, balancing yung indigenous resources versus fossil fuel. And then probably yung coal kasi is medyo may CO2 emission yan, kanya malaking damage to environment. So we have to find ways to control the CO2 emission. So we will try to strike a good balance between renewable and conventional or fossil fuel, and then look forward to some other approaches which is basically clean energy to answer yung climate change adaptation policies natin and Clean Air Act.
Okay, that's good to hear, Carla. No? Good news din yan. Okay, so maraming salamat, sir, sa inyong panahon at tiyak na maraming natutunan yung mga boss natin hinggil nga dito sa paparating nga na if ever power shortage next year. Maraming salamat. Nakasama po natin ang representante ng Oriental Mindoro, walang iba kundi si Congressman Reynaldo Umali.
Thank you, Jules and Carla, for this
Thank you
opportunity.
so much. Maraming salamat po.